Hello, everyone, and welcome to another exciting installment of the Museum of Oddities. Every now and then, I like to remind you all that I do indeed remember that this segment exists and drop a surprise episode for you all to tune into. Just as a reminder, this is that part of the channel where we look at games that due to their themes, gameplay, aesthetics, and maybe a combination of all aforementioned elements and whatever else, they can be classified as weird. It's essentially an excuse for me to just look at bizarre games that are not exactly easy to define or label under one moniker. And tonight's feature is no different. We're going to be looking at, and I'm going to try my best to actually pronounce this properly, Surrealidade. It is a point-and-click adventure game from the late 90s, pretty much the end of the era, 1999, which you probably wouldn't have heard of if it wasn't for Mr. Dmitry Kozma, a man of many talents from Brazil who took it upon himself to brush this game up, add a couple of extra features, and push it onto Steam, where it has been laying on the storefront since 2023. And thanks to his efforts of game preservation, we shall be checking this out and learning about surrealism while we're at it. Yeah, it's going to be one of those fun educational streams. I sure do love me some of the surreal, if you catch my drift. Hey, what's up, Golden? How you doing, buddy? So this being a retro title, even despite the supposed enhancements, it is going to be a little tricky to capture. I'm actually going to have to use windowed mode as opposed to game capture. It runs at a very low internal resolution, which is to be expected. So if you notice any kind of like weird flickering, fidgety movements, it's probably me going from one screen to another as I try to follow chat and do some things in OBS. But hopefully things will go smoothly, at least from my test runs. Surrealidade seems to behave well enough. Okay, for ease of transition, let's immediately move on here. And I shall now boot up the game. Actually, hold up. No. We gotta activate this at full screen mode, ideally. Okay. Should be getting visuals soon. Alrighty, now let's just move OBS over here. My second monitor. Excellent. Okay, perfect. We got visuals. Sound should come on soon after the screen. Surrealidade. Surreality is an obscure, totally independent Brazilian game created in 1999 by a small team of surrealism-obsessed people. Man, I could have just booted up the game. It would give me the summary instead of basically winning it myself. Over the years, it has become cult among its admirers. The version you are going to play now is a definitive edition, with a series of improvements and extra material for you to better enjoy everything Surrealidade has to offer. But the story, graphics, music, and gameplay remain intact, exactly the same as it was created in 1999. We're very proud of this project that, although dated in many ways, maintains its charm and innovation to this day. It contains some elements that in today's eyes may sound offensive to some people, even though they were not created with this intention and do not represent the opinions of the team. In the name of historical preservation, we have decided to keep these elements unchanged. And I'm glad you did, because it is not for you to decide what classifies as in good taste or not. Leave that for the audience at home. What you're about to play is a love letter to surrealism and gaming. Enjoy it and open the doors of your unconscious. Well, you got me pulled in, Mr. Kozma. What could possibly be so offensive? Well, from what I know, there's some nudity in game. Fortunately, it's of the artistic kind, so we should be fine. Other than that, I have no idea. Yo, that sick guitar riff, though. Oh, you can exactly tell the era the style came out just from the old-timey cutscenes and the soundtrack accompanying it. Graphics design is my passion. They really were so proud of that shirt loop, weren't they? Ah, yes, the classic failed to properly end the loop. Okay. We got a couple of items here to interact with. Let's take a look at the night desk first. Introduction. What is the basic goal of surrealism? How are surrealist techniques manifested? How did the historical evolution of surrealism happen? How do surrealist techniques influence the artist in his act of creation? How has the conscious worked in surrealism? This work, therefore, will approach psychic automatism and the artistic languages of the movement as fruits of surrealist production. Since this game natively came out released in Brazilian Portuguese, and this is a fan translation to English, obviously there's going to be some inconsistencies and weird grammatical structures. I don't know how much of this is also like pretentious writing on either of the party sides, so just bear that in mind as we move on. We will open doors to the unconscious through psychic automatism, unlocking the psyche, passing from the conscious to the unconscious, thus finding, in the world of dreams, the world of the unconscious. Society, with its morals and good customs, has caused human beings, throughout the ages, to put locks on their psyche, so that certain thoughts are hidden in the area of the brain that Freud called the unconscious. Man, it feels like I'm diving into some Persona-style narrative plot points here. I distinctly remember this being a big thing in Atlas titles as well. The unconscious is the darkest part of the human mind. It is where all the dark thoughts denied by human beings in society, by character and morals, especially by reason and morality, are trapped. Yeah, we're pretty much just talking about Persona 4 Shadows at this point. The world of the unconscious comes to the surface through our dreams, which are kinds of messages, usually in metaphorical form, that can be deciphered. Dreams, the delicate corpse, humor, wonder, madness, Surrealist objects and automatic writing are techniques used by surrealist artists. Yeah, what's up, Frosty? You are just in time. We have barely started. And already this is proving to be a little janky in terms of navigation. Kinda have to make sure I click on the right spot on the window, otherwise it just either throws me out back into the main hub, or it tries to narrow down my game window instead. So that's a little annoying. For these techniques, they get to know the surreality, the internal reality contained within the human being, taking him/her on a journey through the world of his/her unconscious, where each one will better understand his own mind, because each symbol has its metaphorical form that represents a part of the mind. Surrealism was the artistic movement that had as its ideal the totalization of the human mind in order to come into balance with itself and then be able to come into harmony with the outside. The goal of this unity is for man to feel really free and truly aware of his reality, as being able to transform the world around him according to what he thinks is ideal. The surrealist target is the extra-literary, aiming to free man from the coercions of a too utilitarian, immediatist society. For this, it was necessary to find ways for this liberation to occur. The first step was to accomplish the recovery of all unknown energies, and, as Andre Breton put it, in the philosophical point of view, it is founded on the belief in the superior reality of certain forms of association despised until their advent, in the omnipotence of the dream and the disinterested play of thought. That is, the abandonment of automatism allows the descent in oneself to the domain of instincts and recalcitrant desires, which is that of the superior reality. You're already kind of starting to lose me here, game. Like, that is a lot of yapping going on, which is not building up to anything substantial. Breton reminds us that after allowing himself to be led by his imagination, the poet must emerge to the surface of himself in order to enrich his personality with the discoveries made in his plunge. The surrealists use the discoveries of Freud even, who rationalized the subconscious, dealing a moral blow to spiritual beliefs in hidden voices or the myth of an evasion to a supraterrestrial universe. Oh, finally we're getting some actual examples of artwork to break this up, because, oh boy, am I getting a lot of head up their ass vibes from all this commentary. According to Freudian thought, humor is like a metamorphosis of the spirit in submission, a refusal to subordinate oneself to social prejudice. It is the mask of despair. Often when a person enters a state of despair, he creates a kind of escape valve. He thinks of something cheerful. Breton reminds us that after allowing himself to be led by his imagination, the poet must emerge to the surface of himself in order to enrich his personality with the discoveries made in his plunge. The surrealists used the discoveries of Freud, who rationalized the subconscious, dealing a mortal blow to spiritual beliefs in hidden voices of the myth of an evasion through a supraterrestrial universe. And we get a pretty nice example here. This is the kind of stuff I'm here for exactly. Just bizarre concoctions of the human mind put on canvas. How much more of their we have? Oh, cool. Jeez. You basically asked me to read a Elder Scrolls style novel at this point. Okay, fine. I guess we'll storm through this just to get to the meat in a little bit. Super reality is to approach by putting imaginary daydreams into practice. Therefore, it is not enough for the surrealist to reveal to man his inner riches. It is necessary, above all, that he be able to realize them. For this, the individual spirit's revolt against society must become an effective action for a social revolution. The individual must no longer divide himself to two equal parts, but his actions must be in harmony with his deep tendencies. Super reality will be the synthesis of theory and practice. The surrealists intend, before taking refuge in Ivar Taurus, to demolish them for the sake of transforming human existence, so that the victims of reality will no longer seek to escape it, but, on the contrary, to infuse themselves into it in order to make it, to transform it according to the aspirations of their imagination. Surrealism should not be seen with the conception of art for art's sake, and much less of revolution for revolution's sake, because one can certainly conclude that there is a profound ignorance of its authentic goal. In short, Surrealism is based on supra-reality, that is, it is the realization of the integral man. For this man will use humor, which will open like a door, the psychic automatism that will provide means art, which will be his language, through psychoanalysis that will manage to give a deeper meaning, and the revolution of his environment, which will be the effective realization of the imaginary world. If you really want this to be understood by a broader audience, you should probably drop out of the flowery language and just use more layman's terms. But again, head up your ass type of mindset. Smarter than thou. The concept. When André Breton settled in 1922 in the Atelier on Rue Fontaine, what was to become the headquarters of Surrealism in Paris, he began to research and experiment with automatic writing. Surrealism is temporarily located between the period of World War I and World War II, and is also the heir, the contaminator of the artistic movements that preceded it, without which they would not have existed. Between 1918 and 1940, there were political, scientific, and philosophical events of great importance. The movement had supporters and influenced men in England, Belgium, Spain, Switzerland, Germany, Czechoslovakia, Yugoslavia, and even in other continents: Africa, Asia, Japan, America, Mexico, Brazil, USA. In 1938, the International Surrealism Exhibition in Paris was present in 14 countries. Surrealism had broken the national frameworks of art. It was the first movement to reach such proportions. It became the motivation and the object of study for the best artists in each country. It was a time when art began to face its role on a world scale. It would be naive to think that this movement was created by a few genius brains, when in fact it was the result of rejection, critical polemics, and admiration, but it was nevertheless framed within the artistic needs of the time. Surrealism was preceded by Cubism, Futurism, and Dadaism. The same artists from Surrealism formed the French Dada group until 1922. The Dadaist movement cannot be explained through theory like Surrealism. It is simply the destruction of everything that has ever been made of art. The radicalism and revolt exposed at the time, and we cannot forget the war in 1916, that spread through Germany when in 1918 to finally reach France in 1919-1920, as the Dadaist movement was born during this period. Europe was in a very confused state, and theoretically divided into two parts, the victors and the vanquished, but both were in a state of misery, not only materially, but also in the state of mind of the population. After 4 years of killing and destruction of all kinds, there was the question of confidence in the regime. At this time, the disproportion between the means and the ends appears, which highlights the madness of the system. A regime that was unable to control its energies, bring as a consequence the weakening and destruction of man, which in the end was bankruptcy. The bankruptcy witnessed by elites who applaud in every country the mass slaughter, finding measures to continue it. The science that with its great discoveries directed all its knowledge to the war industry. The fall of the philosophies that made man lose the notion of right and wrong, where he started killing under orders from his superiors and started making excuses for himself, because killing went against his principles, leading a good part of the soldiers to madness. The depression of art that proposed better camouflage, the end of literature that was camouflage to be used in military communication. And then we move into postmodernism, because thank you, France, you always find a way to ruin everything. It was the end of civilization that turned against itself, destroying itself. Breton, Eluard, Aragon, the guy from Lord of the Rings, Perret, Soupault were ashamed of the civilization that forced them to leave it in revolt, with the desire to have nothing more in common with it. A civilization that had lost its very, oh boy, raison d'être, something of the sort. 1920 is the year of the last signing of the peace treaties, the beginning of the end of the war. The capitalist world inaugurates a new stability, but it is provisional. The problems had not been solved after 4 years of mortality, and everyone felt this. Then a new civilization arose, which was based on the new values. The continent had enjoyed the prestige that has nothing to lose but everything to gain from the new changes. In Clemenceau, men were trying to live a different life, while the fight in the West continued to fall into a well-known disorder. There were traces of new rebellious revolutions everywhere, demonstrating a long-awaited evolution that had not yet taken place. The owners of power stopped themselves in time and tried to bring the people back to their senses. Evolution that had been needed for years was approached. The hope was to believe in a new era of prosperity. I'm starting to be grateful that I only decided for one feature game instead of a bundle like I sometimes do for the Museum of Oddities, because if we're gonna have a lot of material to read, that in itself is gonna be quite the bulk of tonight's session. The needy masses, who had been deprived for so long of satisfying their own needs, became the biggest consumers. Automobiles, airplanes, means of transportation, invented for war purposes, came to common use for big businessmen. The railroad and navigation shortened distances. Scientific discoveries became more successive. Crowds sought out to the cinema. The world retreated into the dimension of the exalted man, and naively the futurist, like Apollinaire, even discovered a single poetry in the beauties of war. Disgusted with this illusion, the artists decided to turn away from this progressive world that used the horrors of war to aid their everyday progress, fleeing into their own minds, believing that the human mind is the best way to come into balance by attempting totalization, found through psychoanalysis, thus forming the Surrealist movement. By the way, the futurist movement of Italy is a intriguing rabbit hole of its own, and I recommend looking into it because those guys were batshit crazy when it came to flipping culture and tradition upside down, and had some very strange ideas about revolutionizing Italian identity, period, even down to cuisine. In this sense, Breton states, Heraclitus and Surrealist in dialectics, Julius in the definition, Baudelaire in morals, Rimbaud in the practice of life, and so on. There was a Surrealist movement that meets the end of the First World War and ends at the beginning of the Second War. This movement was lived and realized by people experiencing themselves through painting, poetry, the essay, or the particular conduct of each life, which was stamped in time. We'll give a notion about this epoch, which is the complete attempt at the freedom of the spirit to determine the limits and show how difficult it is to go further with more depth in the human spirit. Surrealism ends in an artistic explosion that brings us an ideological impasse. Breton's proposal was to use language and poetics to explore the unconscious, based on Freud's works, which Breton loved and studied. What would Surrealism be then? What would Surrealism be then? This, apparently. It's pretty cool, you gotta admit. The concept. Okay, we can deal with former pages. Surrealism was an aesthetic philosophical current which emerged in France in 1914, where the anguished consciousness that the First War created, and which appeared at the same time in Zurich, New York, Cologne, and Berlin. Guillaume Apollinaire, I am not gonna put the care and attention to try and pronounce French names and terminology because it is a hideous type of speech. And if they actually wanted me to respect it, they would not make the spelling and grammar so convoluted. One of the leaders of the Dadaist movement was the first man to use the term Surrealism around 1916. Although the movement started in various places around the world in 1919, the artists of the world came together thanks to the poets Aragon and André Breton. At this time, Dada nihilism was reread, and on its ruins, Surrealism was built, inheriting the hostility of the Dada movement and inserting to Freud's rationalism and psychoanalysis. Surrealism was, which is a literary and plastic movement, aims to capture the deep subconscious of the human soul and bring it to the surface in forms of words for appropriate symbolism. Contrary to appearances, surrealism is not an abstract trend, but the rational language of the irrational. It was a movement that in our time was recognized with enormous sensitivity, consecrating several artists in various countries, including Paul Klee, Switzerland, Max Ernst, and Wolfgang Paulin, Germany, Marcel Duchamp, Yves Tanguy, Andrea Masson, France, Juan Miro, and Salvador Dali, Spain. There he is. There's the man of the hour, who I'm sure at least most of you know, just from some of his famous pieces, like the Melting Clocks. You gotta admit, it's a classic piece at this point. Giorgio di Chirico, Italy. Man Ray, USA. Oh, that is a badass name. Man Ray. And Wilfredo Lam, Cuba. Advocating psychic automatism, André Breton published in 1924 the Manifesto of Surrealism, which advocated the meaning of the movement. It is a simple psychic automatism by which we propose to exhibit, either verbally or in writing or any other way, the real workings of thought, of everything without any interference or reason, outside of all aesthetic or moral concern. I keep hearing a lot about this psychic automatism, and to me it sounds like an ability you would put in an RPG. Through this manifesto, it is possible to understand the scientific reason for the new movement. The artists sought to prove an inner experience that manifests itself unconsciously. They tried to access the subconscious by blocking out thoughts. The artists intended to paint something more real than reality itself. That is, something more than a simple copy of what we see. Unfortunately, we cannot return to the primitive state by ourselves. The artists used drugs to facilitate the journey. They were impressed by Freud's writings showing that when thoughts are awake, they are numbed, and the childish and wild in people come to dominate. I mean, it has been exactly a thing for surrealism and painting alone. Just from the much later genre of rock music, I could name countless examples of illicit substances enhancing performance and leading to some of the most memorable compositions in human history. Green Mandalishi, for one. This idea made the surrealists claim that surrealist art can never be realized with reason fully awake. They sought to probe mental states where everything that is buried in the subconscious can come to the surface. They did not plan their work. The result could come out monstrous. If we put aside our prejudices and let go of our fantasies, perhaps we could understand the strange dreams of the artists of the time. Oh, there we go. After all that yapping, I think it's high time we at least try to look at some neat artwork. Surrealist artists. So we get... okay. We actually get a compendium of names. Big fan of this bird guy right here. I think the fact that this is running in a native low resolution enhances the experience. I can't really tell if you guys can see the pixelization, but in full screen on my end, there's a lot of artifacts. Yo, Anna reference? Seeing a very suspiciously familiar face right here. Damn, they actually just straight up put this artist's whole portfolio in here. Mind you, we're only looking at a single name so far. Let's see if there's any names I recognize. Besides, obviously, Dolly. Can we, like, scroll further? There we go. On a personal level, I'm mildly familiar with the Surrealist movement. Oh, Picasso. Interesting to see him over here, because during my stay in Japan last year, when I went to the Open Air Museum in Hakone, they actually had the whole exhibit dedicated to Picasso in one of the venues. This man was actually quite all-encompassing when it came to art, because he dabbled in quite a lot of different media. We got paintings, drawings, sculpture. Let's see if there's anything here that... Huh. Okay, weirdly enough, you're gonna get one thing from Picasso. Well, I suppose if we're only limiting ourselves to his Surrealism era, you only get like a snippet of the guy's extended catalog. You know what, sure. Out of respect for the name, let's take a peep at Rayman. Not to be confused with the Ubisoft character. Okay, now we're just straight up. Now we're just straight up trying to hype up postmodernism, and that's not gonna fly with me. This is the kind of artwork I could put up in a museum and pretend it's some kind of deep view on society. See, now that's a little more up my alley. Making it weird. A little unsettling. Supposed to invoke deeper thoughts and reflection inside of you. And then just draw a naked lady, because why not? Inspiration comes in many a form. Oh, actually, a lot of nudity. Okay, enough dawdling. Let's actually hop into the game proper. Oh, now it's really getting surreal. The kind of stuff that you start experiencing when you wake up from a really intense dream and your mind is still trapped in that transitional period between lucidity and being stuck in a dream sequence. So you get to experience some weird audio-visual hallucinations, including a staggering frame rate of 10 FPS. I've seen something like this in Vampire Hunter D. Can't believe they just shamelessly ripped that one off. Yo. Hot Jam Alert? Some kind of slaps. How's it going, buddy?
Seja bem-vindo à sua mente, cara.
Welcome to your mind, my dear. Who or rather, what are you?
Sou o oráculo, guardião do automatismo psíquico. Responderei a todas as perguntas necessárias para que você chegue com sucesso ao seu destino, ajudando em sua jornada rumo à supra-realidade. Responderei a qualquer pergunta, e se você conseguir me convencer a abrir a porta para o inconsciente, o ajudarei durante o caminho rumo ao seu destino.
See, this is a smart approach to recording audio. If you're not a qualified voice actor, just read the lines and then apply a filter so that it distorts your speech so much that you can't really distinguish. I am the Oracle, guardian of psychic automatism. I will answer all of the questions necessary for you to successfully reach your destination, helping you on your journey towards super reality. I will answer any question if you can convince me to open the door to the unconscious. I will help you along the way towards your destiny. What's behind this door?
O inconsciente.
The unconscious. What is unconscious?
O inconsciente é a parte mais obscura da mente humana. É onde todos os pensamentos obscuros, negados pelo ser humano e pela sociedade, pelo caráter e pelos bons costumes, e principalmente pela razão e pela moral, são presos.
The unconscious is the darkest part of the human mind. It is where all the obscure thoughts, denied by a human being and by the society, by the character and by the good customs, and mainly by the reason and the moral, are imprisoned. Why is the unconscious stuck?
Porque a sociedade, a cultura e a racionalidade do homem fez com que o consciente se defendesse, colocando travas específicas para que o mundo não conhecesse os segredos do inconsciente.
Because the society, the culture, and the rationality of the man made the conscious to defend itself by putting psychic barriers, so that the world would not know the secrets of the unconscious. What are psychic locks?
Travas específicas são travas colocadas pela mente humana para dificultar o acesso a certos pensamentos guardados por nós em uma área obscura chamada inconsciente.
Psychic locks are locks placed by the human mind to make it difficult to access certain thoughts kept by us in a dark area called the unconscious. How can this world of the unconscious surface?
Esse mundo do inconsciente geralmente chega à superfície através dos nossos sonhos. São espécies de mensagens, normalmente em forma metafórica, pedindo para serem decifradas.
You know, for a silly love letter and a passion project dedicated to surrealism, the devs kind of went out of their way to make a deeper narrative, and I kind of respect it. This world of unconscious usually comes to the surface for our dreams. There are kinds of messages, usually in metaphorical form, asking to be deciphered. Okay, thank you, but now I have to go. Actually no, we haven't done the other three. This was like all part of the first conversation branch.
Meu caro amigo, você está dentro de sua mente. Para ser mais exato, você está em seu consciente. Aqui você encontrará toda a sua racionalidade.
My dear friend, you are inside your mind. To be more exact, you are in your consciousness. Here you will find all your rationality. What is my destiny?
Você deve harmonizar sua mente através da supra-realidade e tornar-se parte do todo.
You must harmonize your mind with the super-reality and become part of the whole. What is super-reality?
Supra-realidade, também chamada de surrealidade, é uma realidade absoluta, onde o inconsciente e o consciente se unem. É uma realidade além da nossa, uma realidade que, além de ser como nós conhecemos, é também a realidade vista não só pelo nosso consciente, como também pelo nosso inconsciente.
The super-reality, also called surreality, is an absolute reality, where the unconscious and the conscious unite. It is a reality beyond ours, a reality that in addition to being as we know it, it is also the reality seen not only by our conscious, but also by our unconscious. When does supra-reality
A
arise?
supra-realidade surge todas as vezes quando a imaginação tem a chance de se manifestar livremente sem o freio da razão, do espírito crítico.
Super-reality arises every time the imagination has the chance to manifest itself freely without the restraints of reason of the critical spirit. What will I need to successfully reach the supra-reality?
Você terá de coletar uma série de itens que representam as técnicas surrealistas para poder chegar ao maravilhoso e assim sua mente poder entrar em harmonia com o todo.
You will have to collect a series of items that present surrealist techniques in order to reach the marvelous, and so your mind can be in harmony with the whole. What items are these?
Meu caro, você vai saber quando chegar o momento.
My dear, you'll know when the time comes. What are surrealist techniques?
Técnicas surrealistas são as técnicas utilizadas pelos filósofos e artistas do movimento surrealista para encontrar a supra-realidade. São elas: os sonhos, o humor, o cadáver delicado, a escrita automática, o objeto surrealista, o maravilhoso e a
Yo, calm
loucura.
down. No need to raise your voice there, pal. Surrealist techniques are the techniques used by philosophers and artists of the surrealist movement to find the supra-reality. They are dreams, humor, the delicate corpse, automatic writing, the surrealist object, the wonderful, and madness. All very distinct, which I'm sure are going to be easy to recognize.
O mundo do maravilhoso chega à superfície através dos sonhos. No decorrer de sua jornada, você saberá mais.
The world of the marvelous comes to the surface through dreams. In the course of your journey, you will know more. What is humor?
O humor faz a mistura do real e do fantástico. Não vou falar muito sobre ele. Você aprenderá mais em sua aventura pelo inconsciente.
Humor is a mixture of the real and the fantastic. I won't say much about it, you'll learn more in your adventure for the unconscious. What is
A
auto-write?
escrita automática é um ato inconsciente. Nada mais falarei sobre este assunto. A resposta, meu caro, será explicada no decorrer de sua jornada rumo à supra-realidade.
Automatic writing is an unconscious act. I would say more on this subject. The answer, my dear, will explain in the course of your journey towards supra-reality. What is the delicate corpse?
O cadáver primoroso beberá o vinho novo. Curioso sobre isto? Fique tranquilo. Muito em breve você terá as devidas respostas.
The exquisite corpse will drink the new wine. Curious about this? Rest assured, very soon you will have the right answers.
Objeto real fruto de momento de torpor. Este é um objeto surrealista. Por hora é só o que poderei comentar. Se tiver coragem, poderá aprender mais.
A real object resulting from a moment of torpor. This is the surrealist object. That's all I can comment for now. If you have the courage, you can learn more.
É a supra-realidade, o ideal.
This is a super reality, the ideal.
Porque um mundo imaginário onde o paranoico acredita ser a realidade é exatamente o ideal
Pet the
que
brain.
os filósofos surrealistas procuram. Muitas vezes os artistas do movimento surrealista
Smooth out those
chegaram a
folds.
simular a loucura usando-a como técnica para alcançar este mundo do maravilhoso.
Why is madness a surrealist technique? Because the imaginary world where the paranoid believes to be reality is exactly the ideal that surrealist philosophers seek. Many times the artists of the surrealist movement came to simulate madness, using as a technique to reach this world of the marvelous. Just keeps on going, doesn't it?
Sim, a paranoia é um exemplo do objetivo perseguido pelo surrealismo, pois ofereceu aos filósofos surrealistas uma síntese do real e do imaginário. O paranoico cria um mundo imaginário no qual acredita ser real, ainda que vivendo no mesmo universo em que vive uma pessoa normal, experimentando as mesmas sensações e assistindo ao mesmo desenrolar das coisas. O doente reage de maneira completamente diversa.
Is paranoia an example of surrealist technique? Yes, paranoia is an example of the goal pursued by surrealism, as it offered surrealist philosophers a synthesis of the real and the imaginary. The paranoid creates an imaginary world in which he believes to be real. Although living in the same universe as a normal person, experiencing the same sensations, watching the same unfolding of things, the patient reacts completely differently. What is the world like for the paranoid?
Para o paranoico, o mundo é um teatro e ele o principal ator. Nada acontece de maneira objetiva, mas como o universo dos primitivos, tudo é animado por intenções ocultas que se trata de descobrir. Essa atitude não está muito longe do homem normal, do alienado ao sábio, cujas pretensões a uma rigorosa objetividade foram catalogadas como ilusórias, para que o mundo se cubra pelas cores de seu amor e de seu ódio. Há certamente aqui uma hierarquia fixada.
Oh, is really getting into it again? For the paranoid, the world is a theater and he's the main actor. Nothing happens in an objective way, but, like in the universe of the primitives, everything is animated by hidden intentions that is a question of discovering. This attitude is not far from the normal man, from the alienated to the wise, whose pretensions to rigorous objectivity have been catalogued as illusory. So the world is covered in the colors of their love and hate. There is certainly a hierarchy to be established, and not an established opposition. So can madness be considered a surrealist technique?
Exato, pois ele pode ser a reconstituição de um estado que não tem nada a desejar na alienação mental. Seria preciso que o pensamento sucumbisse, enfim, sobre o pensável. Isto é, que o espírito se desligasse de todo o preconceito, de toda a convenção, para deixar que através dele se expresse o automatismo psíquico, veículo da revelação.
Exactly, for it can be the reconstitution of a state that has nothing to desire from mental alienation. It will be necessary for thought to finally succumb to the thinkable, that is, for the spirit to detach itself from all prejudice, from all convention, to allow psychic automatism, vehicle of revelation, to express through it. It's a very interesting way of looking at being mentally unwell and romanticizing it.
Você deve harmonizar sua mente através da suprarrealidade e tornar-se parte do todo.
You must harmonize your mind through the super-reality and become part of the whole.
Boa sorte, meu caro. Estarei aqui quando você quiser conversar mais.
Good luck, my dear. I'll be here when you want to talk more. What's this little dude over here? Oh, that's our inventory, which comes packed with a toilet.
Meu caro, deseja realmente acordar e voltar à tua realidade?
The toilet is actually our exit cave option. Is that a little bit of a self-deprecating humor?
Pois bem, sabia que você não iria desistir assim tão facilmente, meu caro. Então continue sua jornada rumo à supra-realidade.
Well, at least the video game understands exactly what it is. Oh, come on, let's not be a little too mean. But there is censorship options in case I want to be a little stream friendly, which I think I'm gonna enable just in case. This is a family-friendly broadcast, after all. Oh, this is actually from Dmitry Kozma, 1999. Huh. Man's been around for a while, hasn't he? Apparently that guy is not only involved in art, but also, well, making video games, as we learned from this definitive edition. But movie making, all sorts of projects. Have we actually entered his private chambers? Really like this one because of the coloring and mysterious atmosphere. Oh, you could tell exactly what's supposed to be here. That's right. A big black circle. Oh, what did I pick up? What's in here? More exposition? Oh, it's the introductory segment from the beginning. Well, we're already gone for that, so no need to look at it again. Pretty chill guitar solo. At the very beginning of it almost sounds like it's gonna turn into the Rolling Stones' Angie. You can't hear it right now, but there's like a very brief moment where it almost becomes that song. Now the truth will agonize. Wise words discover. Sound psychic automata. Radio in the library corridor. Press the right button on the radio 3 times. The music will change. Press the left button of the radio 1 time. You will hear a different sound. Huh. I'm gonna memorize all that. Do we actually see a radio over here anywhere? Any more books around here I can interact with? Covering cement. Manure wrote the truth over the top of that deck. Soapy soap, clap of mongrel dog hair. Foreman corrected tangency, broken toaster, seals of the garlic, seed sprouted. Lamb shadow of paradise. Lilac saint skin, chair without legs. Generic amputation, frequent emotion. Who knows if Saudade flew over the city. Saints of wood and paper, still marching in the mud. Who knows if Saudade flew over the city? Saints of wood and paper, still marching in the mud. Straw hat, dislocated shoulder without fail. Toffees and chocolates, playing in the field of death. Sudden collapse, redemption of the spanking. Precious bulimia, bells pollute the air. Spit valve, poor Salvador. These are like the ramblings of a side quest important NPC you'd find in an RPG. It also comes to show that, once again, with the right mindset, you too can become aspiring artist. Just write down whatever comes to your head on a piece of paper. Spin an interesting narrative around it, and yeah, you're gonna become a world-renowned poet in no time. Ah. Okay, how do we interact with this thing? Sick jams. Honestly, a couple of these would work as good background music. Oh, here's the track we've come to know for playing in the background. Very minimalist. Somehow we made it back to the main hallway. What about here? Where's that lead? I'm kind of seeing a bit of a King Crimson album energy out of this one. Okay. Smooth jazz. I dig it. Watch me about to get jumped by a group of demons. Unexpectedly turns into a Shin Megami stream.
Ei, você não pode entrar sem vencer meu teste. Não insista.
Hey, you can't enter without winning my test. Do not insist. What's the test?
O que você quer?
Ah, what do you want? Who are you?
Me chamam de cão andaluz. Não gosto nada desse apelido. Tudo por causa daquele maldito filme do Buñuel e do Dali.
They call me the Andalusian dog. I like that nickname and all. Because of that damn movie by Buñuel and Dali. What's this movie about? Is it about dogs?
Como você é ignorante. A ignorância me deixa raivoso, enfurecido. Não há cachorros, principalmente não há cachorros na Andaluzia.
How ignorant you are. Ignorance makes me angry. Enraged. There are no dogs. Especially no Andalusian dogs. What's the movie story?
História? Você acha que esse filme se resume em uma mera história? Ledo engano. O filme é uma sequência de imagens e cenas
vagamente conectadas por títulos absurdos, aparentemente sem nenhuma ligação ou contexto.
History. Do you think this movie boils down to a mere story? There is. There is. There is. Big mistake. The film is a sequence of images and scenes loosely connected by absurd titles, seemingly without any connections to context. Where did the idea of the film come from?
Bem, este foi o primeiro filme do diretor espanhol Luis Buñuel. Ele surgiu como fruto de 3 noites de sonho de Salvador Dalí. Provavelmente você vai se espantar com uma das mais memoráveis cenas da história do cinema. Uma lâmina rasgando um globo ocular. Eu adoro esta parte.
Well, this was the first film by Spanish director Luis Buñuel, and came about as a result of Salvador Dali's 3 Nights of Dreams. You'll probably be amazed by one of the most memorable scenes in movie history, a blade ripping an eyeball. Hey, I love this part. Is this where the knife comes to play? What did Buñuel and Dali intend with this film?
Eles queriam provocar a plateia, desconstruir as convenções do cinema e destruir a visão burguesa que constituía a arte. Julgando a reação do público na sessão de estreia em Paris, no ano de 1928, eles conseguiram. Os espectadores enfurecidos jogaram pedra e não aceitaram muito bem o filme.
They wanted to provoke the audience, deconstruct the conventions of cinema, and destroy the bourgeois vision of the constituted art. Judging by the audience's reaction in the premiere section in Paris in the year 1928, they got it. Enraged spectators threw stones and they take the film very well. Yeah, this 1928, really early years of cinema. How was the narrative structure of the film?
A estrutura narrativa desse filme, de pouco mais de 15 minutos, reflete uma agitação longe de um estado de consciência linear. Enquanto as situações bizarras tentam representar o imaginário dos sonhos, aberto a várias leituras psicoanalíticas.
The narrative structure of this little more than 15 minutes film reflects an agitation away from a linear state of consciousness, while the bizarre situations try to represent the dream imagery, open to various psychoanalytic readings. I must want to look this up, especially if it's a short flick, just to see what the hype is all about.
Chega, não vou mais falar. Estou cansado. Estou aqui na porta deste cinema desde 1928. Não aguento mais falar sobre o mesmo assunto por tanto tempo.
Oh, you can actually play it in the game? That's kinda neat.
No meu teste. O que eu garanto é que vai ser difícil.
Stop. I won't say more. I'm tired. I've been here at the door at the cinema since 1928. I can't bear to talk about the same subject for so long. If you want to come in and watch the movie, you'll have to hit my quiz. Which I guarantee will be difficult. Hey. Tell me about this test.
Você não vai conseguir passar. Você é burro. Não vai conseguir. Você deverá acertar todas as minhas perguntas. Se acertar, poderá entrar no cinema.
You should get all my questions right. If you get it right, you can enter the cinema. I'm prepared to try and answer your quiz. Come on.
Está certo. Vamos ver se você vai conseguir.
That's right. Let's see if you can make it. I imagine it's gonna be just trial and errors. Even if you fail, you can just take it up as many times.
Quem oficializou o movimento surrealista?
Who made the surrealist movement official? Breton?
Em que período se iniciou o movimento surrealista?
Between the First and Second World War.
Em que ano se iniciou oficialmente o movimento surrealista?
It was like 24?
De onde alguns artistas surrealistas tiravam a informação para abstrair suas obras?
Of dreams?
Escreveu a frase: de dia procuramos inconscientemente as imagens perdidas dos sonhos. E por isso, quando encontramos uma delas, cremos reconhecê-la. E dizemos que, só de vê-las, somos levados a sonhar.
During that day, we unconsciously look for the lost images of dreams, and that's why when we find one of them, we believe we recognize it, and we say that just by seeing them, we are led to dream. Okay, a lot of this we actually found out from the first volume. This quote I don't recall, so I'm probably gonna have to try and wing it. Dolly?
Qual movimento foi precursor do surrealismo?
Which movement forerunners surrealism? So, before Cubism.
Tá errado. Eu odeio gente burra. Por isso quem é burro não entra, seu inútil. Vai passar vergonha tentando de novo? Ou vai desistir? Certo. Você é insistente, hein? Além de burro é teimoso, feito uma mula. Pois bem, mas agora você vai ter
I can't exactly tell which ones I got wrong. Right, you're insistent, huh? Besides being a donkey, he's as stubborn as an idiot. Well, now we have to start the game again.
Oficializou o movimento surrealista.
Will it end if I get something wrong immediately?
Tá errado.
Yes. So I actually made it very far.
Certo. Quem oficializou o movimento?
So,
Em que
Breton,
período se iniciou? Em
for
que ano se
second,
iniciou oficialmente o-
24,
De onde o artista surrealista
Dreams,
escreveu a frase?
Buckland?
Tá errado.
Well, it's one out of three.
Certo. Quem oficializou o movimento surrealista? Em que período se iniciou? Em que ano se iniciou? De onde alguns artistas... Quem escreveu a frase?
Victor Hugo.
Tá errado.
Wait, what?
Certo. Quem oficializou o movimento surrealista? Em que período se iniciou? Em que ano se iniciou? De onde alguns artistas... Quem escreveu a frase? Qual movimento foi
Oh, it was
do
actually Dali.
surrealismo?
Cubism.
Tá errado.
Try again.
Certo. Quem oficializou o movimento surrealista? Em que período se... Em que ano se iniciou oficialmente o movimento? De onde alguns... Quem escreveu a frase? Qual movimento foi precursor do surrealismo?
I think it was Impressionism then.
Tá errado.
Dang it.
Certo. Quem oficializou o movimento surrealista? Em que período se... Em que ano se iniciou? De onde alguns artistas... Quem escreveu a... Qual movimento foi precursor do surrealismo?
Expressionism?
Tá errado. Certo. Quem oficializou... Tá errado. Certo. Quem oficializou
Come on, man.
o movimento surrealista? Em que período...
Slap me in a movie theater, damn it.
De onde alguns artistas surrealistas... Quem escreveu a frase? Qual movimento foi precursor do... Quando surgiu o dadaísmo?
36?
Tá errado.
Oh, you son of a...
Certo. Quem oficializou o movimento surrealista?
I'm here to watch the movie pictures, not get quizzed. If I wanted to be ran tests on, I'd go back to school.
Em que período se iniciou o movimento surrealista? Em que ano se iniciou? Tá errado. Certo. Quem oficializou? Em que período se iniciou? Em que ano se iniciou? De onde alguns artistas... Quem escreveu a frase? Qual movimento foi precursor? Tá errado. Certo. Quem oficializou?
I swear, I'm actually
Em
trying.
que período se iniciou? Em que ano se iniciou?
I'm not messing this up on purpose.
Escreveu a frase? Qual movimento foi precursor? Quando surgiu o dadaísmo?
20?
Tá errado. Certo. Quem oficializou o movimento surrealista? Em que período? Em que ano se iniciou? De onde alguns artistas... Quem escreveu a frase? Qual movimento foi precursor do... Quando surgiu o da... Em que se baseia o movimento surrealista?
What is the surrealist movement based on? The unconscious.
O que é surrealismo?
The synthesis. Psychic
Em
automatism?
que cidade se reuniu o primeiro grupo de artistas surrealistas?
It was Paris.
Eu não acredito. Você venceu meu teste, seu cachorro sarnento. Está certo. Minha palavra é de honra. Pode entrar no cinema para assistir ao filme. Agora vá, não gaste mais meu precioso tempo.
I don't believe you beat my test, you mangy dog, after like 20 trial and error attempts. That's right, my word is an honor. You can go into the cinema to watch the movie. Now go. Waste my precious time anymore. Ugh. Oh, wait a sec. So you're telling me I can get 25 free views by checking out this link. Well, how about I tell Kanye to leave. Okay, Twitch, let me close the window. Thanks. Let's see. Sure. Swoosh. This counts under fair use, right? I mean, it's from 1928. So, well, fellas, bust out the popcorn. We're about to watch a piece of history unfold. In French, no less. It's gonna be real confusing when they actually slap English subtitles over the original text. You know what? It's better this way. Since it's supposed to be a surrealist movie, the language barrier is also gonna add an extra layer of confusion on top. It's apparently caused a lot of stir when it made its debut in the theaters. Whoa. Okay, I suppose that was pretty controversial for the time. So any way to start your flick? It's giving me the same kind of energy as the movie Begotten, which is considered to be a French experimental cult classic. Except, well, at least here I can kind of make out what's going on. Begotten, on the other hand, is a fever trip of a movie. Man falls off a bicycle and dies. Tragic. Rip Bozo. Trying to materialize the dead dude. Okay, that's a little strange. Somewhat Lynchian, I'd say. Oh. Hey now. So I'll get all freaky here. That's all the rock is about. It's just a guy walking his pet hand. Perfectly normal. Imagine being some person on Twitch right now who's just casually browsing through a list of streams. They come across this broadcast, and they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna see what this Surrealidade thing is all about," and then they just instead tune into me watching a movie, and they're like, "What the heck is going on?" Oh, he's just waiting for her to get smacked by a car. With look of anticipation and hope. Hell yeah. Got him. What else did you think was gonna happen, stupid? Oh, we're getting a little bit of a whimsy and freak. Man, don't touch it with those cans. At least one of them has... Oof. At least one of them has, an anthill laying inside of it. Expected to go all Looney Tunes, but here we are now. They kind of nailed it with this casting, because if this fella is supposed to be like a weirdo and a creep by nature, then they sure got the perfect man for the job. His facial expressions alone sell the role. Oh. Yeah, let's just get two dead deer carcasses, strap them to pianos. I think that's supposed to be deer. Maybe it's donkeys. what is the meaning of the anthill? Oh, hey, it took you a while to manifest in corporeal form. Wait, a new challenger approaches the fray. What kind of wacky conundrums is this fedora-wearing dude gonna be up to? I'm expecting him to just punch the other guy in the face. We're not getting any frontal shots of this newcomer, which is a very interesting choice. Makes you wonder if there's something we're not supposed to see. Or it could be another potential gimmick just to weird you out. Oh, it was him all along. Something closing your intrusive thoughts in the corner. I don't know, if you have a better dissection of what's going on, you tell me. I told you, man, ever since the anthill came into view, I was like, you know, maybe this is exactly what David Lynch, who grew up on and used as a inspiration, at least for a Razorhead. I'm sure at least one person considered taking footage from this film, splicing it up and using for some sort of analog horror. Out of context, some scenes from this film are pretty creepy. It'll make for good scenes. Like this one right here. With the mouth. I mean, you gotta admit, for something out of the late 20s in the past century, there's some interesting movie editing techniques used. I wonder how they managed to accomplish some of those visuals, like the guy's mouth disappearing, reappearing. I'm sure a lot of it can be attributed to the low visual quality of the film material at the time. So much of practical effects just could be tucked away under the poor picture quality. I believe that's the box we see from the initial first few minutes. There's some continuity here, believe it or not. Even if stringing it all together is well above my pay grade. Not gonna lie, I feel like this too after a long working week. I will admit, that sure was something.
O que você quer agora? Já não basta ter vencido meu teste? Agora fica aqui me enchendo a paciência? Chega, não quero mais conversar, não tenho mais vontade de conversar. Assista o filme se quiser. Se não quiser, não assista. Mas por favor, me dê um pouco de paz.
Oh, come on, dude. Just wanted to share some thoughts on this interesting piece of history. Oh, so this just double switch you can do in the intro. Kind of weird that some motives from the beginning scene appear here, but maybe they just couldn't get it around it. So we want to make sure that you have options. Check those pieces out. If we just skip directly here from the bedroom. It's making me play Baldi's Basics. What should one of these be some kind of impossible to solve equation? After which I'm gonna be chased by some eldritch abomination. What's the point of that if putting the correct numbers doesn't do anything? Don't have a key either. Guess we have to go back down and explore, because there sure isn't anything else up here I noticed. They missed something in this main hall. Doesn't seem a whole lot going on. Okay, maybe the idea here is actually to follow the instructions. Press the right button of the radio 3 times, music will change. Left button of the radio 1 time, you'll hear a different sound. Press the right button 1 time again. Should make a screenshot of this, so we have an easier way of consulting it. Hang on, let's go back. Okay, now I have it displayed on a separate window, so hoping that will help. Come on, go through the door. Press the right button of the radio 3 times. Left button of the radio 1 time, we hear a different sound. Okay. Right button 1 time again. Lower button 1 time. Right button 1 time, you'll hear the first automatism. Here's indicating. Right button once you hear the next automation. Steps 6 and 7. I'm sure if I'm doing this right. Oh, that's different. I think I'm getting it correctly now. Yep. There's the sleep prompt. Beat step 6 and 7 to hear all the psychic automatism within the radio. You turned the damn thing into a spirit box.
Ô, mano, tá errado, tá errado. Ó, você quebrou o brinquedo.
Oh my? Just some fun adult activities. Nothing to worry about.
Veja bem. Meu caro, assim como os artistas surrealistas, você buscará a harmonia de sua mente, unindo o consciente e o inconsciente, harmonizando-a com o macrocosmo. Para isso, você deve chegar à supra-realidade através de uma porta muito bem trancada. Para abri-la, você deverá deixar sua irracionalidade fluir.
You must reach the super reality through a very well locked door. To open, you must let your rationality flow.
Não posso falar muito a respeito desse assunto. Sinto muito, meu caro, mas essas são as regras.
Please, I just want a tip.
Sinto, mas infelizmente não é possível. Você pode conseguir. Basta.
Well, you're no fun. Okay, I guess I have to figure out my own. I mean, if the whole thing is condoning irrationality, maybe the idea here is I'm supposed to intentionally get the math equations wrong. So just put in whatever. Hang on, I'm actually having trouble locking my mouse back in. Oh. Uh-oh. Game just decided to crash all of a sudden. Actually, no, it's still running, but the window got very small on my end, which is not shown by the capture in OBS. Very weird indeed, but totally befitting of indie production. from the dawn of a new millennium. Okay, how about we just try putting in whatever? Wow. That was actually the solution. Who would have thought? I think I caught a glimpse of my sleep paralysis demon for a moment there. Sure is a visual right here. Welcome to your unconscious. I am the guardian of Surrealist techniques. How can I help you? How do I get to supra-reality? Through Surrealist techniques. What are the Surrealist techniques? Madness, automatic writing, the delicate corpse, humorous, surrealist objects, dreaming, and the marvelous. Was the way to reach the supra-reality. You must enter every portal and fulfill every Surrealist technique to know the secret of supra-reality. What are those lights? Portals that will take you on a journey through Surrealist techniques. Where does the yellow portal lead? Automatic writing, delicate corpse. The world of dreams connected to humor and wonder. But know that the frontier to the wonderful is blocked and will only be opened if you learn all the Surrealist techniques. Purple is madness. Is the world of madness dangerous? Of course it's dangerous. Madness is a double-edged sword. While it is a Surrealist technique, there is danger that can be contained by the madness. Is it really necessary to enter the world of madness so that I can reach supra-reality? Yes, you need to know madness, to know the secret of supra-reality. You will probably run into a paranoid in the middle of the road. Paranoid? What do you mean? It is a hidden part of the being that exists in each of us. For him, this world is false. What can he do to me? He will try to convince you that his world is real, and you will even question your own sanity. So be careful when entering the world of madness, because you run the risk of coming out of it completely insane. It really is just P4. I mean, I've been messing about the idea, but it really is building up to the narrative of the fourth persona entry. What could be the consequences of my encounter with the paranoid? From the standpoint of your reality, you may come out somewhat disturbed. Your view of reality may change. Do you really want to know supra-reality? Yes, I wish. Well then, venture to the unknown. Continue your journey to the supra-reality. I hope you succeed and become a legend, as few others have become. Let's go into the yellow light first. The viral vagina abducts the spurious princess. The verbose glass envelops a cursed dye. The lugubrious pestle leaps the light freak. I know, I think the one we got initially with the vagina is kind of difficult to surpass. Come out, Dracula, you owe me money, you bastard. Of course, there also is a big black circle over there to, you know. Censored the really important part. Vinho tinto. Sangue delicado. Am I supposed to put over his intimate parts?
Obrigado pelo vinho. Você é muito gentil, sabia? Em que eu posso lhe ajudar?
Booze so good. It can bring the dead back to life. Thank you for the wine. You are very kind, you know. What can I do for you? Who are you?
Sou cadáver delicado. Quem mais poderia ser, hein?
I'm the delicate corpse. Who else could it be, huh, cutie? What is the delicate corpse?
Jogo inventado pelos artistas do movimento.
It is a game invented by the artists of the Surrealist movement. It is expressed in several people writing on a sheet of paper an automatic word, without knowing what the others have written. The order is predefined. You can follow Andre Breton's example, which is article, adjective, subject, verb, adjective, subject.
Seguir o exemplo de André Breton, que é artigo, adjetivo, sujeito, verbo, adjetivo, sujeito.
Why the name Delicate Corpse? Wanted. The answer to the first game played by Breton and Perrin was, the exquisite corpse will drink the new wine. Who do you think were in their heads? You. So what I'm getting from this is it's a kind of a stream of consciousness wordplay, abiding by some very loose laws, just coming up with nonsense based on the free flow. Where's the Delicate Corpse game? Well, it's a secret. Oh, I like a mystery so much. When I was alive, I have even paraded as a mysterious peacock. Nofsa. It was glory. But back to the point, because I know you're in a hurry. Well, here in this room, there is a secret passage that will lead you to the Delicate Corpse game. There are some friends of mine there. Send my regards if you bump into them. Please tell me how to find the secret passage. I can't say. I would lose all the fun, don't you think? Well, my dear, the secret passage is a question mark. I'm sorry I can't be more help. Watch it literally be a question mark painted on the wall. What does this room present? Baby, this room represents automatic writing and the play of the Delicate Corpse. Why is the writer in the game actively trying to seduce me with all this pleasantries like baby, dear? Did automatic writing already exist before it was used by surrealist artists? Used by doctors in hysterics, anesthesizing parts of the body, such as the arm, to show intelligible, diverse, unconscious, isolated to a psychic activity taking place outside of real consciousness. That's interesting. Can it be used by normal people? According to Piaget, it can be experienced by normal people. It is based on this experience that the surrealist artists base their attempts to reach the unconscious through psychic automatism, automatic writing, and the interpretation of dreams by the method of free association.
Através do automatismo psíquico, da escrita automática e da interpretação dos sonhos pelo método da livre associação.
I wonder if that part of this methodology still exists in lucid dreaming. Sir, no, miss. And you are a catsie. Whenever you want to talk to me, just give me a sip of this new wine, I'll get excited again. Now I'm going to sleep some more. Kisses for you, baby.
Agora vou dormir mais pouco. Beijinho.
Well, you sleep soundly, buddy, and, well, It's almost like I'm a prophet. How's it going, fellas? Type any adjective. Press enter when you are done. Strange. Oh, that right there kind of went past the censorship feature now, did it? No, don't worry, it's just an extra appendage. Nothing to be concerned about. The strange ship mistreats the verbose secretary. You know? Maybe this is the technique Yoko Ono used to compose her songs. Sweet. A sweet sea murders a absorbed car. Very nice. Before generative AI came about, this is where algorithms peaked. Okay, anything else we can do over here? Pretty sure we're supposed to come out with an item for every sequence we complete. Just looking around if there's anything else I can interact while this is going on. The cute bird took the rigid food. I think I can only click on the table and play the game. That leads us back here. Well, I can really put the wine in my inventory. So, I guess I'm done here for now. Let's see what's going on in blue. We're in space? Kinda? Sorta? Something weird going over there. Oh, there we go. Now that's what I call a means of transportation. Traveler, where do you want to go? I don't know where to go. Do you have any suggestions? Why does it sound like a Portuguese Mickey Mouse? I'm not paid to give suggestions. I'm paid to transport people. You know where I should go. Why am I to make guesses? Where do you want to go? Staying right here. Alright, alright. When you want to travel or know where you want to go, look me up. Doesn't really help me. No, does it? Can go up this kooky lighthouse though. Oh my. Finally someone came along to keep me company. I was anxiously waiting for this moment to come. Those are some very Why do you have to be like this, lady? Oh, I've lived here for centuries. No one has ever been brave enough to go up here. At least no one alive. Who are you? Me? I'm the Dreamkeeper. Welcome to my reality. I was so lonely. So monotonous up here. Finally someone came along to keep me company. Now you know that bulb job hits different. Where am I? This is the dream world, the world of symbols and repressed desires. Do you mean that you're a repressed desire or symbol inside my unconscious? Maybe a mixture of the two? Maybe on a kind that makes some sense. Am I asleep? Probably. This world of mine is a bit complicated to reach. What are dreams anyway? Dreams are the signs of hidden processes of the unconscious. They are repressed desires that appear in the form of symbols to be interpreted. There are several theories about dreams. The two best known are Freud's and Jung's. What is a dream for Jung? Jung believed in the collective unconscious, that is, several people from different places in the world who have never had contact with each other can have dreams with symbols of identical meaning. What is a dream for Freud? Dreams are signs of hidden mental processes. One can understand dreams the same way one understands neurosis, that is, by discovering their meaning. The dream is the bridge between the unconscious and the conscious. It is a world of symbols and attempts at realizations of repressed desires. Silent Hill tried this too, but let's be honest. Even in its wildest dreams, it couldn't come up with such interesting creatures as this specimen. What is the function of the dream? The dream allows penetration. Oh. Sure, someone's thinking here about penetrations in a different context. Into oneself and consequent access to supreme knowledge. It is the message from the unconscious to the conscious, and through symbolic images. Why is dreaming a surrealist technique? Because it is through the dream that surreality is found, which is nothing more than the union of the two sides, the dream and the reality, the unconscious and conscious, the union of two poles, the complementation, the marvelous. What is the marvelous? It is the ideal, the union of the conscious and the unconscious. It is surreality. How to get to the wonderful one? It is possible to reach the fantastic world and marvelous through the surrealist techniques. You must necessarily have gone through all the stages, all the surrealist techniques to reach the marvelous. To visit the other portals, you must do so to know the marvelous, but there is a technique that is hidden in this world, humor. How do I get to humor? Look for the soluble fish, it will take you to the mood. Is there a trick to getting to humor? Right, thanks a lot for the help, I'll give it a try. After you have won the humor challenge, come back to talk to me. I'll have something for you. Something special, I'm sure of. Anyway, back to the fish. Now that I think about it, we're kind of just playing a retextured Morrowind. We're on a desolate wasteland. We're using this weird floating creature to traverse the landscape. We've never really left the Elder Scrolls, huh? To humor. Humor? Alright, hang on. Let's take off. Heck yeah, give me the weird cutscene. This is soul. God is dead and she is a naked lady with big booba. I was tired of waiting. Do you like my home? It was a masterpiece. Imagine solely exclusive within your mind. Welcome with all ardor. Enjoy the world of humor. Are you the guardian of humor? Yes, but you can call me Mr. Falana. I like the other cool guys. I love company. I'm certainly not wrong. Among all the guardians, I'm the most human. Sure, buddy, whatever you say. Why do you think you're the most human? Let me tell you directly a great truth. While the Dream Guardians represent the unconscious, I actually participate in your reality. I don't even feel it, but whenever you laugh, so that you don't have to cry when a tragedy happens, I am present. And look, I'm not making any averages. Do you stand for something? Why are you like this? Exactly. Even though you're a manly adult, I represent the childish part of you. I'm not here for nothing, I represent the human that exists in each person. For each one, I have a different way, and even a very naughty way. But in your case, you didn't imagine me as a person. You ended up making me look like a banana. I would like to reach the super reality. If you want, I will tell you the truth. I can help you get to the super reality. Please help me. Don't be bad because you're not weak. If you do, you will only annoy me. How do I get to the super reality? It is as simple as playing with fire. For that you will have to win a game. Tell me about the game. It's a gooey game with lots of sauce. Here we'll control an eye. It'll be raining, but not just any rain, but knives will fall from the sky. Your goal is to do as I say. Knife to eye, eye to knife. I just want to see the blood gushing out. Just like in that movie we've seen earlier. I want to play now. Well, get your shimmering spherical target ready because there's a really cutting rain coming. Knives are falling to the basement. Let's start by going straight to phase 1. I hope you don't feel it, but you know precisely how many steps you'll have to take. No less than 30. This possibly predates Newgrounds by only a couple of years. This is exactly that kind of entertainment quality. Oh, that's a very stanky guitar playing in the background right now. I kinda love it. That's it. Stay calm and try. Don't leave it for later. Now the difficulty increases because you must get at least 40 right within phase 2. It's nothing new. They will need a lot more skill. Unironically, Girls Frontline 2 level of quality. I'm not even exaggerating, this is basically the shopping spree minigame that's currently on the event lineup. Except, instead of catching food articles with Sabrina, I'm getting stabbed in the eye. I know you're coming from somewhere. I've been waiting for more than a month. Now Bloody will cry into difficult phase 3. Know that now the game is caught. You'll be on fire to get 50 right. Would you believe that after all the exposition, I actually welcoming this little bit of casual activity? It's actually helping my brain shut up for a little bit, and also heal my throat. Notice how the speed just plummeted. I can't tell if that's the frame rate struggling or an intentional design. You have triumphed. Your skill was enough to pierce the eye of society. It seems you are close to the Surrealidade. Whenever you want to play again, I'll be here to welcome you. For now, I'll give you a gift with all my love. Now you have the humor. You are the champion of this place. Want to play one more game? I'll play later. Hooray, our very first surrealist artifact. Want to go back to the dream. Eventually, when you have so much explicit imagery, unfolding on screen. But by the way, no red silkers this time around. It doesn't work for cutscenes. Which kind of nullifies the whole point of the auto-censor. But yeah, eventually when it becomes like a prevalent part of the game, you kind of become desensitized to it. It's more amusing than anything. Hey, I won the minigame.
Você voltou.
You are back. I'm so happy when someone comes along. Especially you, who is my creator. Let's talk some more, Megan. Help you.
Vamos conversar mais pouco e quem sabe eu posso ajudá-lo.
He was supposed to have a gift for me.
Talvez. Não é incômodo nenhum.
It's no bother at all. It's so lonely here. With no one to keep me company. My life of infinite loneliness. The centuries drag on endlessly. Come back when you want. There was something else in the distance I saw over here. Weird green landmass. Yeah, over there. I wonder if I can reach that somehow. Yeah, it's a little clumsy, but I kind of sort of get a good glimpse of it. Oh! Get your filthy, greasy hands from my glasses! Who do you think you are to take other people's things? Oh, I'm sorry, I thought these glasses were ownerless. I was taking a swim and needed to clean my skin. And you should know that I don't like people to go through my face without my consent. But anyway, what do you want? Who are you? I am the most beautiful and elegant being in this world, and in all others too. My name is Brisamente Regido. I am a being object. What's it like, what? Brisamente Regido. If you want to know what it means, get a dictionary. I'm going to create wrinkles on my face trying to find out what it means. What is going on? We're on a bot rampage tonight. This is the second one trying to get me into getting more views. I guess so. Speaking of, I'm sure you guys have seen the news circulating that Google has developed a new algorithm that is improving the performance of AI, decreasing the need for resources. And that's actually causing RAM stocks for companies like Micron and Samsung to plummet. Which means that in the long run, we might actually see RAM chips decrease in prices. Actually, I think it's already happening right now. Let me look up the tweet I saw pertaining to it. Google has just announced TurboQuant, a new AI algorithm that reduces memory usage for large language models by a factor of 6 and improves speed up to 8 times via software. As a result, RAM and memory chip stock like Samsung, SK Hynix, and Micron have dropped hard. Yeah, there's already like a price fluctuation where RAM chips are going down by like 50, $100 a pop. Oh yeah, it actually it's funny to think that I kind of had a glimpse of Apollo's gift all those months ago when we initially discussed the matter. And it was like, well, this is a trend. We gotta just wait out a little bit, and the market is gonna normalize. I just didn't expect it to happen so soon. Not that even a year has passed, and already we've seen the advances to a point where they just don't need a steady supply of hardware anymore. Now watch Micron try to crawl back to the consumer market, and they're just gonna get dunked on because they lost consumer trust. What is being object? Oh, damn it. I misclicked. Come back here. But they were abandoned. Abandoned nothing. Just decided to take a swim to keep myself clean, beautiful as I am, and I was afraid of losing them. That's why I left them here. But I see there's a damn thief who takes advantage of people's naivety. What is so special about these glasses anyway? That's an object surrealist. What is an object surrealist? The object surrealist lends itself to minimal functioning and relies on phantoms that are triggered by the performance of unconscious acts, such as dreaming, for example. At the pace we're going, I think we might easily clock in at like 4 hours. Considering that I am taking my time to actually read through all the exposition and just immerse in the surroundings. What is the claim of the object surrealists? Well, the surrealists had a satirical intention when creating these objects. They tend to contest the usefulness of domestic objects and the value of art objects, making them based on products of their fantasy. Is there only one kind of object surrealist? No. There are several categories: found object, interpreted found object, natural object, interpreted natural object, ready-made, assemblage, embedded object, phantom object, box object, object poem, object, and pink object. Woo! More genres than there exist of rock music at this point. I would like to know more about that. André Breton was inspired by a dream to create the surrealist objects. Then began the actual fabrication of these objects, which became the materialization of his repressed desires. Interesting. Well, I would like you to give me those glasses. Give me my glasses? Just like that? For nothing? I think you're losing your mind. Imagine. Give me my glasses. Look at that. But are you nearsighted in all three eyes? It's not that, you donkey. I can see very well with any of my three eyes. The chakras are just in dormant, and with them I am more charming than I am, don't you think? I haven't seen with the glasses yet. Don't be. There's some for you to see, but be careful not to be shocked by so much beauty. You can put it on me and see what a dazzle. Can I? Charan. And there, don't you think I look great? It's true, you look so handsome. You look like a movie artist. Thank you. Already knew that. But now I'll take them off so as to not scratch the lenses. Oh, that was something else. More importantly, how do we get over there on that island? certainly there for a reason, I assume. Well, I guess there's always the purple portal for now. Ooh, this is the fun kind of creepy. Valley of the Giants looking a little different than when I remember it from Dark Souls 1. I need a cigarette. I need a cigarette. Where's the cigarette? Cigarette! You! Hey you! See my cigarette? Don't lie. Tell me, it was you. You have a cigarette in your mouth. Oh, yes, yes, yes. It really is. My little cigarette. My sweet little cigarette. Well, what brings you here? Who are you? Me? I don't know. Oops. Hey. Or do I know? Good question, eh? Are you crazy? Crazy? Depends on the point of view. Many people think so. I think they're all chasing me. They are. They want to catch me, but I hide in the background. Nobody can find me. Why is madness a surrealist technique? Madness is admired by the surrealist. The man has his own world. He is trapped inside his own mind, and is in deeper contact with his own unconscious. It's considered a surrealist technique because the artist believed that madness was one of the ways to reach supra-reality. Can you help me reach the supra-reality? Who knows? Who knows? Why are you laughing? I don't know. I'm crazy. Whoops. He's gonna get me. He's gonna get me. The shadow? It is the shadow. Dark side of the human being. It's attached to me as I am attached to you. Well, this conversation is getting heavy. Heavy? Come on. So you're not conditioned to go on. You haven't heard anything yet. Who knows? Someday, right? Smoking is bad for you. Bad? It's more even to live here in this sticky tunnel where I live. Who? They're on the wall. You're paranoid, insane, schizophrenic. Me? What an idea. The only crazy one here is you. This here is my world. You who think you came from another world. You madman. The super reality is the true reality. Do you believe you live in a world just because you live there? That world is fake. Reality. Poor guy. Living that routine life. Eat, work, sleep. Eat, work, sleep. Once in a while you go out and meet the other same people like you. You call me an alien person, but the only alien person here is you. You live in a little world that you build yourself, living your life. You watch that little box. What do you call it? Television. Oh yes. You watch your wars and killings on TV and absorb it naturally, as if it were a show. People started it. Sex and violence have become weapons to control the masses. This predates Family Guy, by the way. Seems today. All you see. Sex and violence. In your reality, the human being has become a mere object. And in super reality, is it different? In the super reality, the human being is the center of the universe. And the ridiculous world is just an object, a satire. I prefer to live here in my world. That is, your inner world. Where everything is wonderful, because the human being is wonderful. But society over the centuries has spoiled it. How can this be reversed? How to change it? The human being must free himself from this world that he built, but at the same time destroy them. Good was the time when the human being only killed to feed himself, picked fruit from the trees, fished. Ah, how I miss the primitive world. The Surrealists were right to idealize the primitive world. The world that was not contaminated by society. In your opinion, is society harmful? Of course. Society the way we see it today is extremely harmful. Surrealists rebelled against the society, and as long as it exists, the Surrealist philosophy will live on. But would you rather live in a world of illusion? Do you still think this world is an illusion? Well then, am I alienated? Yes, you are. I am alienated from your world. I'm mine. In mine, I'm normal. I'm paranoid, schizophrenic. Call it what you want. But the madness is mine. The world is mine. The super reality is reality itself. Even in my state of madness, I guarantee I'm closer to reality than you are. Any more questions? But at the end you didn't answer me. How do I get to the super reality? To reach the super reality? Only tell if you set me free. You must set me free. I need freedom. I can only get out of here if you let me. A deal. How's that? You set me free and I'll help you get to the super reality. Do you accept? What will I gain by setting you free? If you release me, I'll help you reach super reality. Tell me. Do you accept? Will you set me free? I set you free. Finally. At last. I've been here for years. I was looking forward to this moment. The moment of my liberation. Buddy, the super reality is near. Very near. By the way, for a parent person, don't you change your personality very quickly? Ah, where are the laughs? They're still with me. Oops, they're gonna get me. They're going to get me. And there he goes. Wherever that may be. Wait, so is there no more to that area? I guess not. Wonder how that's gonna change the other zones. He has a strange face. You look like you've gone berserk. What happened to you? It's nothing. I think I'm just too excited about this adventure, that's all. You really have a strange glow in your eyes, the glow that few chosen ones have. I don't know exactly why, but there's something special. You're welcome. Call me whenever you need me. So I guess we attain madness by letting that guy out. We don't really quite get anything out of here. So I wonder if maybe talking to this guy will give a little more answers. Wakey wakey!
Mas é claro. Ainda mais
But of course, especially had someone like you. Do you know that you're a cutie? Thanks, you too. Let's say I don't want to throw away. Wow, this is the first I've ever received such a nice compliment. Oh, my love, I'm thrilled. Here, take this note card, it'll be useful in your journey. What is this card used for? With it you can write down the phrase like best from automatic writing and a delicate corpse. Who knows, they might come in handy later on. How do I make notes with this card? Well, it stays in your inventory. To annotate a phrase you like in auto-write. After pulling the lever and drawing a phrase, press the eye under the panel, the phrase will be annotated. The delicate corpse will be annotated automatically.
A frase vai ser anotada. O cadáver delicado será anotado. Senhor, não.
Okay, let's go into the machine and give it a try. The slutty head creates a white nose. Did that do it? Excellent. Words to live by. I set the madman free. So, you've been affected by the madness. Now you're part of it and know the secret of Surrealidade. You are getting closer and closer to your destiny. So we have madness, humor. I'm not sure if we need some kind of relic from all of these or just interact with all the techniques. Because we kind of did all of them already besides the Marvelous. There's no pathway clear. So it's like still missing something here from the equation. Okay, we already did that. Where else can we move on? It's not really all that much in terms of zones you can explore. Almost certain that this lady here was supposed to give me an item. Must have simple from all the surreal techniques. How will you know that I performed the techniques? I'll just know, and you won't be able to cheat. If you haven't successfully performed all the surreal techniques, there will be no way to find the marvelous. Something really simple. I'll propose you a series of challenges that will test you if you're able to find and reach the wonderful. I think I'm ready. Can you check if I'm ready to meet the wonderful one? Of course, of course. Let's get started. First I want a password. A password that highlights unconscious acts. Can you tell me? The slutty head creates a white nose. That's it. I see you accomplish all the writing very well. By the way, I thought this sentence was very good. Let's go to the next one. They must make me laugh. I want something that makes me laugh. Really hilarious. Laughter is the best weapon
Isso é melhorar.
against hypocrisy.
Hipocrisia.
I see
Isso
that.
aqui.
You
Você
want the challenge of humor. Now I want the password to a game where the collective unconscious can emerge. Collective unconscious. Password, you say?
Eu.
So there's still some places left to know in your mind. Look hard enough, you might find them.
Procure bem o que você
Find
poderá
the secret password.
talvez para que é algo real. Claro, claro. Vamos começar então.
A password that highlights unconscious acts.
Hum, Realmente
A game where the collective unconscious can emerge.
não é incômodo nenhum.
Hmm. Okay. So we gotta look around a little more. We're in a bit of humor. So I'm not really gonna get anything out of it. Spiral over there looks like it could be a potential point of interest, but I can't really interact with it in any capacity.
Está com uma cara. Realmente. Através das técnicas. As técnicas realistas a leitura, a escrita automática, o cadáver colocado, os objetos realistas, o sonho maravilhoso. Sinal.
What are we short on then? Oh. I get to do the noun. Mind. A grotesque mind breaks the small kashaka. Type any verb. Paint. The sophisticated buttocks paint the absorbed mermaid. Not sure where to go from here, to be honest. This is as far as I can reach over here. I guess that's the Marvelous that the lady will let me into at some point. Well, be sincere. Let's go, see it. I want to know if I look good in these glasses. There's no mirror here, the reflection of the water deforms my silhouette. Tell me if I look good. You are... I don't know if I should say. Say it, say it. I want to know how to look with my glasses. To tell the truth, these glasses overshadow the beauty of her free green eyes. Truth? No. Do you swear this is true? Yes, besides, it looks like you got little wrinkles in the corners of your face. No, don't tell me that. I can't listen anymore. My delicate complexion, my target skin tone. No, I can't take it. Just one more thing. You look older when you wear them. I can't listen to it anymore. I can't listen to this anymore. I want these damn glasses anymore. Take them. Take them for yourself. Do what you want with them. Destroy this monstrosity if possible. Well, there we go. Now that I'm rid of this nuisance, I can continue my morning bath. I beg you, please. Don't disturb me anymore, do you hear? I want peace and quiet. I hope I won't be bothered again. Have a nice day. Well, there we go. All it took was being a rude asshole. It was something for our trouble. Let's try chatting up with the Bob lady again. Oof, this game gets really picky when it comes to pinpointing where you want to go.
Não é isso que eu quero.
Ah, there we go. The sophisticated buttocks paint the absorbed mermaid is because they have the the notebook now.
Sim, é o cadáver delicado que
Oh,
você jogou
suddenly
justamente com aqueles
Portuguese.
nutridos. Realmente é uma frase bem estranha. Veja que você está bem
Well,
próximo
what I'm
do
getting from
maravilhoso.
that last line is I need to project a Surreal's object,
Mostre um objeto
which I do happen to own, so that helps.
Exatamente.
Exactly, that's really what I needed. A real Surreal's object. Why do I need the glasses with 3 lenses? Doesn't matter. What matters is that you're very close to the marvelous. Now only one more question remains.
Não importa. O que importa é que você está muito perto do maravilhoso. Agora falta vejo
I see by the look in your eyes that you're ready for the final question. The question that will open the way to the wonderful. But beware, this question is definitive and perhaps the most important one on your journey. Depending on your answer, the adventure may end abruptly without reaching the desired macrocosm. Do you want me to ask you a question now, or do you prefer to ask it later? I'm ready for the final question. You can do it.
Então vamos lá. Me responda.
Come on, answer me. What is the reality? I wonder if there's any wrong answer here. So we can either stick to the material, the meta, or a combination of both. I'm gonna go with the third entry, the super reality.
Acertou.
You get it right.
Finalmente,
You finally accomplished all your tests
conseguiu
towards the wonderful.
todas as suas
Both realities
tarefas
are equally real.
maravilhoso.
The world of the unconscious, my world, is as real as yours. Because it is inside the mind, inside the human soul, which, according to the philosophers of surrealism, is the most perfect way to find a supra-reality.
Alma humana que, de acordo com os filósofos do surrealismo, o mundo não vive
One world cannot live without the other, hence the term surreality, or dream plus reality. To reach the macrocosm, it is enough to balance and harmonize mind and reality. It seems they have succeeded. Congratulations.
e a realidade. Parece que você conseguiu. Parabéns. Procure o peixe
Look for the Subble fish again, and tell him that he now can take you to the wonderful.
pode levá-lo
You are one of the chosen ones. Congratulations.
bonitos. Parabéns.
Awesome. All it took was the tried and trusted adventure game logic, which is try and error, click on everything, go through all possible dialogue options until you finally fumble your way to the arbitrarily chosen conclusion by the game devs. To the wonderful. To the wonderful? Looks like you made it, huh? You've reached the wonderful. Hold on. Fasten your seatbelts. Let's take off. I knew it. I had a gut feeling it was gonna be this weird-ass island. Be quiet. I don't want to scare her. She's here, behind me, keeping me company. Hehe. Who? Don't tell me you're talking to your shadow again. Yes, she's a great friend of mine. She's not attached to me at all. Isn't that wonderful? I would like to know what to do here. Can you help me? You want it all handed to you, don't you? You can't imagine the trouble I went through to reach this place. And when I got here, there was a bunch of stuff scattered on the floor. I had a hard time collecting it all. I need something to be able to go on my way. For setting me free, I will give you a present. Well, that's morbid. Thank you. You are a great friend. Remember, I am attached to you as my shadow is to me. Onto the freaky mouth it is, then. Well, that's a very interesting set piece here. We got a open mouth with its tongue possibly touching a protruding elongated object that is stuck between two circular ones. Not very subtle at all. I can just casually use the saw. So it seems we're just gonna wander around until we find the next trigger. Wherever it may be. I don't know, this rope looks like it could be important. Sorry I couldn't show up. Then we're having colloquy. My shadow. Well, it's up to us to figure out the next logical step. Kind of off topic, but we've reached an interesting trend happening in the movie industry where smaller, privately funded productions that base their ideas on either internet trends or video games are becoming a thing now. So following the success of Ireland, we do have a Backrooms movie in the works which should be coming out soon. But a couple of days ago, there's been an announcement that Faith the Unholy Trinity is also going to get a movie adaptation. Not by A24, which seems to be like the go-to for these kind of endeavors, but instead it's a newly founded studio, Chart Pictures, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, Chart Pictures, started by Alana Pierce. Never really heard of that person before. Apparently she is involved in the video game industry in some capacity. She worked for Santa Monica for a while. And I guess she just randomly decided, no, hey, I want to make a Faith movie. Got a hold of Erdorf, who's going to be the executive producer, which, by the way, if you're going to be making that kind of adaptation, yeah, totally reach out to the original creator and get them on board, which is also what's happening with the Backrooms movie, since King Pixels is having a lot of say in the creative process. And that makes me a little hopeful that both the Backrooms and Faith will hold up, just like Iron Lung did. So yep, cautiously optimistic, a little excited, and well, with Faith in particular, I do hope that some of the rotoscoping technique makes it in the movie. It really needs that very specific visual art style somehow preserved in movie form to make it really stand out and maintain the feel and atmosphere of the game trilogy. Do I have to use this saw anywhere in particular? Oh, now it's making me point out here. I just had to cut down the, not penis, to make a makeshift bridge. Anyway, here's some more smooth jazz to soothe the soul. We did it, gang. Surrealidade has been achieved. Roll credits. I was under the impression that Dmitry Kozma is the person who only quote-unquote remastered the game, but hell, maybe he was part of the original dev team all along. It just decided eventually, hey, I do want to bring this over to modern platforms. Oh yeah, he was involved a lot in the creative process and actually voiced a couple of characters too. You know what? Despite the slow start, where there was a lot of exposition to get through, not necessarily easy to digest either. But to be fair, you could have just easily omitted and jumped straight to the game. I'm gonna willingly decide to dive into it. Thanks to all those who directly or indirectly helped in the research of the project. Special thanks to all those who fought and struggled, different to social pressures, for the fulfillment of their dreams. I ended up enjoying this quite a bit. For like a passion project, it's on the shorter, sweeter side, has some interesting visuals, cool ways of implementing the surrealist techniques. Yeah, I think it was pretty neat. Exactly, for the duration that it took. In case you were wondering what game you just played. Congratulations, you have unlocked Remix mode with many new surprises. Select this mode from the start menu and discover an amazing journey with lots of new content.
Meu caro, você
My dear man, you finally achieved your goal of reaching the super reality, the marvelous.
realidade, o maravilhoso.
You are now a being of light, one of the chosen few who have reached the macrocosm.
Escolhidos que alcançaram
I knew you could do it.
Sabia
Congratulations, my dear. Congratulations for having accomplished your mission, your journey to an extraordinary world. Now you are a star, perfectly integrated into the world of the marvelous. Now you are part of the all.
tudo maravilhoso. Mas não se esqueça.
But don't forget, next time you venture to my world, you can try to reach another destination. Not as glorious, but it's interesting. Want to try to venture to the world of Surrealidade again? I think I want to go back to the menu and enable remix mode first.
Entendo que você agora se maravilhou.
I understand that you now marvel at the expanding universe. You are feeling equal to God. You're now your own God.
Agora, seu próprio Deus, de qualquer
Anyway, dear friend, the invitation is open. Whenever you want to come back, feel free to try a new path, a new possibility.
uma nova.
Okay, let's take a look at the remix version for a little while. This is the remix mode of the game Surrealidade. He will have a new experience after finishing the original game. There's a new journey to the same world, bringing the fourth wall and bringing several new dialogues, movies, and text. Think of it as a return to the original universe after decades. How is this world now? What do the players have to say? Are they aware that there are characters within the game? New extra content that you will only find in this game mode, including extra materials such as the podcast telling you all about the game, surreal short film between mirrors and shadows, the artwork, Easter eggs, and much more. Have fun as we have produced this material with great care and the reverence for the original game. Oh, we do get a new intro. But in a way, they still try to pertain the style of the original, which is cool. The real life segments spliced in make me think of LSD devs productions like 21 The World. I wonder how that man is doing these days. It's been a while since the last update on 19 The Sun, which I'm still eagerly anticipating. My dear Pharaoh, you've already finished this game. What are you still doing here after all these years? I thought I had been forgotten. Do you know this is a game? Of course this is a game. Again, it was forgotten. A game that belongs to an era that no longer exists. Unearthed and revived like a zombie. You really die when you are forgotten. I was dead and they brought me back to life. My dear. All for what? For what to appear as an extra in an old game. And play this game in search of new things. New things? What will be new? Is there anything new around here yet? This game is as old as the world you live in. Is there still room for novelty? Do you ever find new things in your life too? I like talking to a virtual character. It's better than living pigs. A virtual character can be controllable. You turn off this game and I won't bother you anymore. When you want to talk again, just turn the game back on. I guess you wish real life was like that. You wish you could turn people off whenever you felt like it. Yes, I'm always looking for new things. If you're looking for new things, what are you doing here chatting with a virtual character created last century? But this is news to you, so keep exploring. I'm sure you'll find new things here, my dear. Come back when you want to talk to the snail knights by the light brain created last century. I'll be here until the end of my days. Until the end of time. They really, like, double down on the fourth wall breaking, huh? Seems like even the dated sun clips got enhanced. Are you still airing the same movie in the theater section? The posters seem to have changed. Oh, it's actually a film by Cosma. What do you want now? I want to have peace, but you insist on coming here to disturb me, you moron. Just tell me what you want to know. I like how they replace the grumpy actor with just a dog barking. What happened to the movie Andalusian Dog? I changed movies. After so many years of showing the same movie, I decided to change. I am entitled. I have been promoted and I am the manager of this movie theater. I do what I want. Doesn't help much because the cinema is dying out. With so many digital ways of watching movies nowadays, nobody really goes to the cinema anymore. What is this movie? The film is called Between Mirrors and Shadows, created by Dimitri Cosma in 2006, the same guy who made this game here. It is a surrealist film created in the same mold as Andalusian Dog. It's in one piece for you to watch. What is the film about? The story of a man in search of God and a woman in search of answers, on a strange and surreal journey through the episodes of the human soul. By watching play this film, you can learn things about your essence and discover buried secrets you never imagined you possessed. How's this film made? It's a completely independent experimental production. It was written based on psychic automatism and dream experiments by a small team of passionate surrealists years after the completion of this game. You know what? Sure, let's go in and have a peep at another movie. You guys get a double cinema feature tonight. Let's see how Lynchian this one gets compared to the Salvador Dali production. Paradeus, is that a Girls Frontline reference? Everywhere I go, I cannot escape the dolls and the eldritch horrors interwoven in the post-apocalyptic storyline. It really is a universe that lures you in with the promise of cute anime combat androids, but then turns into this like really complex, multi-layered narrative that leaves you mind blown. Boy, let me tell you, after Corposant, I am looking very much forward to the next big plot point. But hey, after Corpo, we need a moment of respite, so I guess that's why they decided to roll Laney out and give us 2 weeks worth of breather. This sure is heading into a very somber direction. I hope Twitch doesn't get any funny ideas about me showing self-harm. I don't know how much of a touchy subject that is on the platform. Well, it's not like water is cheap these days, so you gotta look for alternatives if you wanna water your plants. Or, blood, rather. Blood your plants. This wouldn't have happened if you didn't eat cheese at 3 a.m. I'm joking, but on the other hand, you do get some of the craziest dreams by snacking late at night. And for some reason, your mind just gets very active while your stomach is digesting food asleep. I respect the commitment to making this a quote-unquote silent film, because even with the sound effects, there's nothing here in the way of dialogue. So it's still mostly up to interpretation based on what your eyes are seeing to make out what's going on. I too occasionally take out my drawer fish and give it a good rinse.
Tenho tanta pena das crianças passando fome. Vamos explodir o mundo.
Oh, so much for this being a silent flick.
Ele era grande, bonito, forte, tinha crina dourada e usava sapatos.
Well, it's not like I can understand Portuguese, so nothing has changed really.
Alguém teve dia ruim. Nunca mais vai falar. Comecei a rezar, eu tinha 10 anos. Agora não me lembro uma só palavra. Quem pensa, acha que pode pensar. Chega, eu não aguento mais! Ah, é assim? Então nunca mais rezo por você.
It's better not turn into a snuff film when I least expect it. It's definitely giving off that kind of vibe right about now. I hope whoever had to breathe heavily into the microphone got paid for all the efforts. Wait, but what the hell was she hugging? Was that like a giant plush?
Eu tô cansada. Eu não aguento mais.
This is a
Se
stable
menos eu tivesse com quem falar.
and perfectly
Sabe?
normal household.
Como eu queria sentir o outro lado. Só nos meus sonhos ele é real. Você sabe, só não tem coragem de assumir. Tenha paciência. O tempo demora demais pra se firmar.
You know,
Paciência.
sometimes you just have to confine
Preciso pensar.
in the only real one you know out there. And yes, that person is you.
Ah. Ai. Ah. Ah.
Oh my. Who put this dark web footage into my surrealism independent movie production? Are we even sure this is surreal anymore? That's someone's fetish. Sure, the person filming that from way over there is having a kick out of it. How long has this been going on, by the way? I feel like we already exceeded the Andalusian Dog short film. What if it actually goes on for like an entire hour? When Stanley Kubrick complained to the production studio that they butchered Eyes Wide Shut, this is what he was referring to. But it was all a dream. Or was it super reality? You know, it'd be a nice way of connecting both these short films when she decided to stab herself in the eye with this dagger, but that's going in the exact opposite direction of the head. Like there's just three cloaked dukes in the background staring on. Well, they're just there having a good time. Once again, I have to reiterate my point from The Andalusian Dog. Imagine being just a casual viewer on Twitch who's browsing the streaming category, looking through all the live streams at the moment, stumbles upon this obscure game being broadcasted by one person. They decide to tune in, see what all the buzz is about, and then they're greeted by this. How do you think they'd feel? Because I'd be hella confused. Like for all you know, I would assume that the streamer is pulling a fast one on me and just decided to put on a dark web video. Thinking about it brings me back to the good old days on the platform where people would just put on whatever category and instead stream on full movies and anime. Those were some interesting times. The Wild West era of Twitch, if you will. This one bedroom is doing a lot of heavy lifting for the entire duration. Like 90% of the scenes are happening right here. Ain't no way they took someone's car and just set it on fire. That's definitely from a news broadcast. Nope, back to this dude. I love 90s era virtual reality. So corny but lovable. Ending on a crucifixion sure is a bold decision. I see a Maria Claudia Cosma in the credits, so I assume the guy was like, I could totally get my wife in on this. And if so, good on Dimitri.
Sombra não é nada mais do que a própria vontade de se multiplicar. Enterrado no concreto deve estar.
Ooh, well, that was sure a handful. 2007. Let that sink in, because that's still almost 20 years ago from current year. Which by comparison makes it only marginally younger than the game we're playing. Ooh. Oh, we actually get to see the guy's artwork. More of it, to be exact. This one in particular is leaning a little more into Beksinski territory. Not quite there, because the latter style is more dystopian and full of dark colors, but it's more so the figure that's the highlight. Gives me that kind of impression. What if SpongeBob but experimental? It's kind of wild to think how big of a deal people made out of TV 2 decades ago, and how it was controlling us, the populace. Now you can pretty much just swap television with internet, and the concept remains valid. These are some fun critters. Interesting scrimlows. This particular art style makes me think a little bit of David Firth and Stout Fingers. This one, on the other hand, is going for a more classic approach to surrealism. Yep. Ooh. Now, if you ever read All Tomorrows, this is basically what the future of human evolution is going to be like. Yep. Remember, kids, sex sells, so always make it a prominent feature of any art movement. Also, make it really weird and breaking traditional conventions. That was just funny. What if Hylics abominations but freaky? I like this one a lot. It's simple. It's got neat coloring. This one's pretty neat too. Ah, we're seeing the ones that were displayed in the hallway. Those I would say are some of Cosmo's best work. Definitely more of a fan of anything a little more classical and coloring approach like these pieces. So the more cartoonish ones. I guess it's preference in style and form. You just speak more to me. I suppose we should also swing by the library, see if there's anything new around there. Sure enough, there's some of the newer artwork got introduced.
Olá, meus queridos, eu sou Dimitri Cosma e este é um podcast sem freio, descendo uma ladeira desgovernado em conversas em que tudo pode acontecer. Hoje o nosso programa é muito especial. Eu trouxe a Cíntia e a Cristiane aqui para a gente conversar sobre o game brasileiro Surrealidade, expressão.
Is this a whole podcast in
que
Portuguese?
aborda o surrealismo de uma forma completamente inédita. E depois de mais de 20 anos de produzido, ele foi redescoberto por uma nova geração.
I think it is.
Tá adorando,
There was
querendo
mention
saber
of it
mais
in the
sobre essa
title card.
aventura que chegou a ser distribuída. Olá, meus queridos.
Yeah. It
Olá,
really
meus
is.
queridos. Eu sou Dimitri Cosma e este é o podcast Sem Freio, descendo uma...
How much can you muck around the radio in this mode? Very liminal. Don't have much in the way of options, but... Hello there. I'm guessing that's the team involved in this definitive edition. Well, let's jump quickly into the other dimension. Have a glimpse there. Huh. Do you have to bother putting in the code? How thoughtful. Hello, you again here? I thought I had forgotten. The vast majority of people forget their inner child. And to make matters worse, we are still the game has been forgotten for more than 20 years. What do you do around here? I came to see what happened to you. Really? Well, I'm so embarrassed. I thought you would care about me. Thank you. I confess I was tired of staying here alone in the dark. Alone in the dark mentioned. Everything's so deserted. Everything's been wide open since last time you were here. You unleashed the madman, everything is gone crazy. Thanks to you, I was back to Dadaism. Why haven't the voices changed? Madness has corrupted reason and changed everything. I understand why you have been outside this game and have not been infected by the madness. But around here has been 20 years since the madman has been loose and the madness has infected the whole world. And all the inhabitants too. Although you hear all these strange shouts, you still understand what we are saying, because you've already had contact with the madman. There is a green light here. Oh, that brings us back to the lobby. If we want. Oh, that's pretty neat. Let's get a more open world format. Well now. Someone got covered up. She does his moan. Oh dear. What is this painting hidden behind you? This was a painting by the game's creator made when he dreamed about me again these days. You know how it is. They always miss me and I'm coming back. Do you want to see it? I may have a good enough idea from here. What's the glasses creature up to? I wonder. We could go to a place with a bidet. Should have known. Let's go to the humor. Just gonna play the same cutscene or just cut straight right there. Looks like it was pretty much the same. Yeah, this looks just about as the way I left it. Changed a little in these years, but I think I'm more moody. Difficult times will have made me a little bitter. I made some changes to my minigame to meet requests from my fans. change a little bit to spice it up. These double charges things sell, you know? Comparing everyday things with sexual organs is a great trick to achieve success. You have no idea how much my followers on social media enjoy it. Well, you get the idea. Actually, there was a new dialogue options with the fish. They have some new route to take me. New place. Hang on, I have some suggestions for rides. All these years I've become our tour guide here in the Dreamwood. I have some new this to show you. What would you like to feel? I would search for a quiet ride. I'm assuming they put in some new FMVs? Oh yeah. The green screen effect. How about a bazaar ride? What does that entail? How quirky are we gonna get on this voyage? Well, they put me straight into Deadly Premonition from the looks of things. Deadly Premonition and it's upside down. And Leslie, while we're here, how about the excitement? Let's see. Golden doesn't seem to be around. I was gonna ask him if he wants to come in and redeem his raid. Because I think I'll be closing off shortly. Got a pretty good glimpse at the extra content. And I don't want to necessarily spoil everything because I do believe this is a pretty interesting small title, and does give an incentive for other people to look into it themselves and experience some things on their own. I would say the new content doesn't quite live up to the original's quality, because with the classic experience you mostly rely on old-timey CG to convey the weirdness of this surreal experience. Well, in the remix edition, we're going for a more new-gen approach with the real-life video footage, which, don't get me wrong, it's not a bad thing. You can definitely achieve a lot of cool things with it, but it doesn't quite live up to the retro computer graphics. So I think I'm just gonna peep like one more area here and leave it there. This was very short, so I wonder if there's anything expanded in this tunnel. Oh. Yo, they got Pyro from TF2 in here? He's doing the Mads Mikkelsen thing. Well, it seems I'm particularly impressed by that zone. Is this the same as before? Oh, it spouts Latin phrases this time. Fair enough. How about you guys? Ah. It gives you artwork. Oh, including this Star Wars alien. Alright, Zombie Man, what do you have to say? Are you even in there? Sure is. The ugly wall divides a funny enemy. A flowery prostitute defiles the verbose female. The natural space mistreats a rare solitary. The fat monument will show the golden mermaid, a slutty mouse, tell to a melancholy appendix. You get the idea. You just kind of go back and forth with the word soup. I suppose it didn't take that long to get through everything. Let's go to the final area. I'm gonna venture, I guess, that at least it's gonna play a different film. May as well. It's already here. How do you do this again? Gotta find a sweet spot on this island. Is artificial intelligence the new wonderful? Oh wow. Speaking of AI, carrying on from that segue earlier. I think this is using the earliest models of AI, but it was still in its infancy. It produced some just really bizarre imagery. That's definitely gonna earn Dimitri Kozma some backlash. Oh, people are not gonna like the inclusion of that in their cool commentary about surrealism.
Meu caro, deseja
Wake me up
realmente
before you go.
bem. Então, que seja
After I clicked that, it opened a new folder titled Extras. Where is Excreditos? Can I just open these up as I please? Frame not defined on mouse enter me, script error, continue. Well, whatever was the intention, it didn't work. It's in the extra section. Videos, pictures, podcast, jukebox, bonus game. Oh. So we just want to view the content here without going into the actual game. You can do so as you please.
meu realmente
Yes, I know I unlocked the remix mode, but I'm just gonna wanna leave now, thanks. Exit?
meu caro. Realmente
Isn't gonna let me leave? Oh my god.
meu mas não se esqueça.
We're stuck in the loop. A never-ending trap. Right, I guess we'll have to do it the hard way. Press X. There we go. The dream has finally reached a conclusion. Alright, well, thank you for sticking around to Surrealidade. It was a fun little trip outside of our comfort zone. We did learn some things about the surrealism movement. Got to look at some cool imagery. There was also probably plenty of artwork there in the original material, which honestly I kind of expected to see more of in the game. But I guess they wanted to do like a completely original point-and-click sequence, which is fine in my eyes. I definitely liked that portion the most, where it was just exploring for a couple of short and sweet zones full of weird oddities and strange visuals. As for the remix version, it's there. It, to a degree, it kind of comes off as Dmitry Kozma, kind of doing a lot of self-inserting by putting an abundance of his own artwork and other creative input into what I'm guessing was originally a team effort. So, there might have definitely been a ulterior motive there besides game preservation. But you know what? Fair enough. He did have a lot of contributions in the original game, so fair enough. Go wild. So, yep, if you felt like this was something up alley, do check it out on your own. And that's gonna be it for me tonight. Come next week, since Easter's approaching, and I'm gonna have some extended time off. Might do a double stream feature. And 2 weeks beyond that, we have a very special occasion cooking up. Because, for one, my birthday is coming along on the 9th. And around that time, roughly, is where we're going to be celebrating our stream anniversary on Twitch. So, big joyous festival is coming up. Now, I'm not quite sure entirely what I'm going to do for the next commemoration of my time on Twitch. But we'll see. Have a couple of things I could potentially cook up, so I'm just going to decide on what's optimal, what could be the most interesting feature, and we'll roll with it. But in the meantime, thanks guys for sticking around, and I'll see you for more Rise of the Triad or Lords of the Fallen, depending on which I want to do next. Take it easy, and y'all have a good weekend.